Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I'm so glad you guys are here to talk about my interview with James Malinchak. So James Malinchak was on ABC's Secret Millionaire, and he's actually my business coach. And so he gave us an opportunity to do an interview with him. And it's funny when I was talking to the other people that were also being interviewed, everybody's so scared because you don't realize what's gonna happen. What's he gonna, is he gonna ask gotcha questions and stuff like that? And you have to remember he's not gonna do anything like that because he doesn't want to look bad either. Like he has a brand and everything. And so we were all talking about that. And so he makes you feel so, comfortable and everything. But ahead of time, you're preparing, and he wants to talk to you. Talks to the group because people sign up to interview with him, and he teaches you these great things about like don't like he didn't want me to talk about like say my book because you kind of put yourself into like say if I said 2024 in 2024 I was whatever, you don't want to get yourself into this where you dated your interview. So you will see when we watch the interview that he puts it on a white background. He tries to make you like don't wear anything, any pins or anything like that. He wants you to have it so that you can have it for a long time. So these are all the I'm going to just give you guys all the business part, and then I want to talk to you about my emotions and how I was feeling about this whole thing. So we did a what was it? Like a Zoom, right? Because Rocky did it too. So we did a Zoom, and we talked about the questions he might ask and things like that. So we have a notebook, and he doesn't want you to memorize it because if you know your stuff, if you know what you're going to be speaking on, then you just want to be comfortable. So, I mean, that's easier said than done. I don't know about you guys, but I like to prepare. So I wanted to make sure I was prepared. And so I did do that. I'm going to see if I can put this on speaker view for now. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I was trying to change the view, but never mind. I don't know what I did. What did I do? I don't know. Oh no. What did I do? How do I get it back? Okay. Here we go. Okay, so it was kind of nerve-wracking, but I was supposed to go to my interview in the afternoon, and he lives in a private community here in Las Vegas, and they take you by shuttle. There's no other way there. You have to arrive at a certain time, and you have to be there at a certain time, and the shuttle takes you up there, and you can't leave because it's a private community. So I was supposed to go in the afternoon, so that was great. I was going to wake up at a certain time, get ready, and then I get a call the night before. Can you come for the morning interview instead? And I said, sure, be glad to. That means getting up at 4 in the morning, but yes, I'd be happy to because I had to arrive across town by 7:15 in the morning. And so I had to be up and ready and all that. So, you know, one of the things that's been going on with me, and we'll talk about this after the interview, is that I I've been struggling. I gained some weight, and I went to the doctor and have found out that I'm in menopause, and it's all menopause stuff, and so I'm regulating that with medication and different things, and so it's been really hard. I go to put on the jackets I bought for the interview, and they don't fit well. And then I had purchased a shirt, and I was so distracted by the fact that my jacket wasn't fitting well that I didn't even think about my shirt. I don't know why I didn't think about my shirt. And this is something I wish he would have said to us. I wish he would have said, black looks really good for you ladies. Black hides everything, that kind of thing. Instead, I have on a tight shirt that I regret to the end of time. But I paid a lot of money to do this interview and to participate in this opportunity. And so I invested rather than paid money. I invested in this opportunity for my business, but I just can't. I hate the way I look, and I just hate it. But I'm using all the graphics. I had the graphics made professionally. by a company, and I'll show you, I'll just kind of glance, I'll show you guys some of the stuff so you can glance at it, and it's fine. It'll be fine. That's all we can do. It's all we can do. So learning how to talk about yourself without dating it and without trying to put certain information in there was really a challenge, but it was a really good challenge. And so it was really good to talk about what I do and trying, making sure not to say dates and things like that. So that was a challenge, but it was really good. And he made me feel really at ease and all that. So, do you guys have questions about that? Oh, well, you're very nice. So I don't want it to just be me talking. So Rocky says I looked beautiful.
You did look absolutely beautiful. Your pictures are wonderful. I haven't seen the interview other than the little snippets, but
Yeah.
you look absolutely beautiful. And I understand those, like when we are just being critic of ourselves, but you
Right.
do actually look very beautiful.
Laura,
Well,
before you started recording,
yeah.
I was talking to you about how you had transformed since I began my friendship with you, our sisterhood. And I think that even people that don't know you are going to be so drawn to that magnetic personality that it was so natural. Like, if I didn't know better, I would think that the two of you had been friends for eons. It just seemed so comfortable. So I think people are going to be focused on that.
Yeah.
We pick ourselves apart.
Yes.
So get over your damn self. That's
I
what I'm
know.
gonna say. I
No.
love
That's pretty
you.
much what I told her.
Yeah.
I was
Good
like,
for you.
listen, you need to knock it off
Yes.
right now.
I
You look
know.
gorgeous.
Exactly.
Stop it.
It's hard because one of the things I want to say to you guys, not only I'm usually not super hypercritical about myself. I've learned how to love myself in the last couple of years. Even as my weight has been fluctuating, my life has been fluctuating. I've learned how to I love myself. But let me tell you, I was at my lowest with menopause at that time. Like, I remember I almost canceled and said, please let me do this in the fall because I felt so bad in my body, not just weight wise, but
Yep.
I felt so bad. And so now I feel so much better. I'm medicated. No, but I feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt so bad, so it was really hard to do that. Okay, there's somebody that's coming in. Let me let them know. Okay. And we're recording. Jessica, welcome. So, that to me is why it was hard, is because I didn't feel good. And so it's hard to kind of fake that. When I first saw the video, when they sent it to us, I just opened it, saw what I looked like, and then immediately called Rocky. And I was like, ah. And I understand, and I understand that we're critical of ourselves. But anyway, I felt bad. And so that's why it's been hard to like just share all the pictures and everything, because I just don't feel good about myself because of how I feel. I don't feel good. So anyway,
But
yes,
can we shift the conversation to the first things that you were saying
sure,
about the business side of it?
sure.
The business
Yeah.
side of it, because this
Yes.
this is so I wanted to, for the recording and your audience who is not right now logged in, can
Yes.
you tell us why was this, you say you invested in yourself, well, why was this
Yes.
interview such an important investment for you?
Right. So, because I want to become a speaker as a podcaster, I am sort of a speaker already, but I want to get on actual stages to speak to women like me. And that was part of, so that's part of it. Why I wanted to also talk about how I feel, because I want to talk to those women like me. And Gabby and I have had these conversations. She's like, your women are just like you. They're thinking about the same things you are, and they're struggling with the same things you are, and they don't care whatever you're feeling. They don't care about that. They're not worried about that. They're worried about that their marriage is falling apart or that they were with a narcissist. So I want to get the word out even further. And I knew that working with James, having worked with him as a business coach, that he would put me on another level with the way he interviews people and the way he positions people. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do that, so that I could have, I mean, it's by the end of the interview, I'm excited for you guys to see that. By the end of the interview, I was like, wow, who's that girl? Let's hire her. you know? And so that was really, really good. When he does the testimonial at the end, um, I was like, wow, hire her right now. And it just makes you feel so good, because I also felt very heard and listened to, and he heard my message and he heard my vision. And so, yeah, so that's why I want to invest, because it's inside of me. I need to get it out into the world so people know who I am.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Good. That's so good.
Okay,
And
well,
you lost, didn't you lose like 200 pounds?
yeah,
Something
almost
like that?
almost 200 pounds
Of dead weight.
of dead weight. Yes. Yes, exactly. So, I mean, I am a different person. Oh, Gabby, your microphone's on. I'll mute you.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. So, you know, I am a different person than 2 years ago. And so that's why I felt like there's certain things that I wanted to invest in myself in to continue moving my business forward, to get the word out, what I'm doing and who I want to help. So that's what I'm doing. So, okay, so I want to show you guys the video. It's about 10 minutes long, but it really goes fast, so I don't think it'll drag out. And I haven't watched it all the way through, so I'm really I haven't. It's anyway. You guys, I told you the whole thing. I'm having a hard time, but I know that it's important, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm going to show you the video. I really hope it just, when I share, that it will play the video. God, I hope it does. And then afterwards we'll just have a small Q&A, whatever you guys would like to ask me. So think about it and give me your questions after. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, so I'm going to play it for a second. Will you guys give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear it?
Hi, this is James Malinchak, featured on ABC's hit TV show Secret Millionaire. And I am so excited today because today I am interviewing the amazing Laura Richards. Laura, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad
You
to
look
be.
amazing with that color.
Thank
I
you.
love that color.
This is my color, so that's why I wanted to wear it.
Oh, you wear it well. I love
Thank
it.
you.
So for anybody watching who doesn't know Laura,
Yeah.
can you explain who you are and what you do?
Sure. Well, I'm an international podcaster, and I'm also a best-selling author, and I'm a speaker, and I speak on narcissistic abuse and giving women their voice after abuse.
And so, which is so needed,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What is the passion that drives you to do this?
Well, my passion comes from my personal experience of being in a marriage that actually I didn't even know I was in abuse. And that is part of what I help women understand, is because emotional and psychological abuse is so, like, if you're not aware of it, you don't even realize that it's happening. So I have kind of a funny story that I tell to kind of give this example. So, when you go to, like, say, a big box store and you can buy like a bag of avocados, well, I would bring them home and then I would hide them around my house. Well, because this is the way my thinking was so twisted, was because he didn't want me to buy avocados all at once, because then they're going to ripen all at the same time. And if this sounds ludicrous to you, this is what abuse sounds like. It's just little minor controlling habits. And so it got to the point where my thinking was so twisted that I was hiding avocados around my house, and I would bring one out at a time so he didn't know that I bought them all at the same time. So
we don't even realize it's happening. And that's why I want to teach awareness, because we don't even realize what's happening to us. And it's little minor things like that.
I would say the first part of any transformation, all transformation, is awareness.
Yes.
Because you don't know what you don't know, but once you become aware, you can make changes that fast when you are conscious of what's going on.
That's it. You know, I was saying to my therapist, I said, why did I stay so long? And she said, oh my gosh, the minute you found out, you ran out the door. Like the
You
minute
became aware.
when I became aware. And so when we, like, sometimes, you know, it feels kind of funny to say, like, I wasn't aware for 33 years. I wasn't aware. It's that boiling frog analogy where you put a frog into boiling water and it jumps out, right? But if you put it into cool water and then start the heat, they don't get out and then they're boiled alive. And so that's something that happens in abuse and emotional abuse, especially. That's what you're going to see in emotional psychological abuse. And that's what I speak on. And so that's what bringing the awareness is. You don't even realize that it's happening. It's so subtle. It's just little minor things.
This all sounds good,
Yes.
but when you start working with folks, whether speaking, whether coaching one-on-one,
Right.
writing the amazing books you write, online courses,
Right.
however you work to get
Yeah.
your information and transformation out. Someone starts to kind of hear you go through it, and then there are challenges that pop up,
Right.
right? And in your amazing work over the years, I'm sure you've seen some common
Yes.
roadblocks or
Yeah.
challenges that pop up,
Yeah.
or blind spots.
Right.
What would you say are 2 or 3 that maybe hold someone back from progressing and moving forward?
It's a great question because it always comes down to that self-esteem and really your value. And so that is
And
another.
how you feel worthy, probably.
That's exactly it. And so how you're feeling about yourself is really going to drive how you decide, right, what you're going to do next. And unfortunately, we've been taught wrong. It's not our fault, but we've been taught wrong how to, we've been taught that we have to be polite all the time. You know, maybe even if people are being rude to us, but we're polite. As growing up as a woman, you're the good girl and you do all the right things. And I thought I did all the right things. But as a giver, you have to remember that the takers are going to take. And so unless you know your value and know what your boundaries are going to be, then that comes from self-esteem. And so that's the other part that I'm really helping people understand is that value, that worth, those boundaries, the self-esteem, and then they can live the life that they truly want to live.
I kind of have an idea of what I think makes you unique and different to guide someone.
Okay.
And when I say guide, whether it's speaking or coaching, that's why I say kind of guide. Because whether you're writing a book, speaking, doing online information, being interviewed on a podcast, running your podcast,
right,
you're guiding
these
people, right? So I think that probably what makes you unique is people can see, wow, she's a PLU. People like us, like she's actually gone through what I'm going through. I think a lot of times when folks go through a situation, they think, oh, I'm the only one in the world that's going through this. No one understands, right? And what I think makes you different and unique is that you not only lived it, you learned from it, and now you're passing it on.
Yes.
Would you agree that that's something that makes you different? And are there other things that make you unique?
I have one other thing, but yes, I want to address that because it's true. When I came out of my marriage, I really felt almost ashamed and I felt very alone until I found those people like me, right?
You almost felt like you're the only one. Right?
The only one. I felt that way. I felt like I was the only one. And the reason was I started to understand was that nobody was talking about it. And so as I started to talk about it, I found my community because when we're in shame, which is a very common feeling that people have, even after abuse, they go to shame. And so when you're in community, but not only community, in conversation, shame is broken. And so that's why I wanted to get the word out that I'm just like you. I've been there, but you're not alone and you're not the only one. And then the other thing I think that makes me unique is I use humor because humor laughter is good and it helps.
It's medicine.
It's medicine, the endorphins, the good chemicals for our brain. It really, it's part of my thing. I don't make light of the situation, but we laugh about it and get those good chemicals back in our brain.
Yeah, I love the fact that you bring humor into it when it's such a heavy situation where a person feels like, I have no hope,
Yes.
you know, and if you could laugh a little and lighten up, then
Yes.
maybe they're more open to the plan, the blueprint, the transformation you're trying to impart on them.
Yes. When you get those chemicals going in your brain, you are receptive to those things.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if I give someone a blueprint, the keys to get there. It doesn't matter if they don't feel good about themselves. And so that's really there. It's so multifaceted that we're working on everything at the same time. So because you can't just do one and then do the next one, it's all happening at the same time to really just heal yourself and move forward and then make a difference in the world. Because they will affect their friends. The person in front of me is giving me guidance on how to get there, and the person behind me, I can help them.
Yeah, yeah. No better feeling, I say this all the time, no greater feeling you can have than when you know you made a difference in the lives of others.
Yes, for sure.
And the light bulb goes off, or you see someone who, I mean, what you do and what I love about what you do is you put the hope back into hope tanks.
Yes.
Because so many folks have their hope tanks on E.
Yes.
Right? We all do in every situation, walk through life. And so you really pour the hope back in and fill that tank back up.
I surely try, that's for sure. I want to show that what I went through, right? I am on the other side and I'm able to, like if you don't feel confident, you don't feel hopeful, I always say you can borrow some of mine until you can get there.
Yeah. Love that. Someone's watching. They say, this sounds great, but, because, then our story creeps in.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. Or this is the one that's probably you hear a lot. She doesn't understand. My situation's different.
Yeah.
It's not like everyone else's, right? I want you to talk to that person watching who thinks, "Oh, I'd love to work with Laura, but I don't know. I don't think people understand what my situation is." What would you say to them?
Well, I've been where you are. And when I left my marriage, I thought I would never be happy again. But I've been able to come out of that pit and find joy again. And I know that you can too, because I've done it. And I really, truly never thought I could be happy again. And with different things, doing different things in my life, I was able to do that. And I want to help you and give you the guidance to do that, because you can be happy again. No matter your situation, there are steps and there are ways that we can get there. I know we can. And you can find joy again.
Laura, thank you. That's so amazing. I love the work you're doing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with me.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm James Malinchak. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, 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 wow.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
There's a
it.
lot of things I want to say, but I'm not going to say it on a recorded call. I'll call you later and
Oh my gosh. Okay.
it's girl
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, girl stuff. Okay. Okay.
I
Yes.
thought
we
it was
can-
fantastic. I thought I thought you were just so natural and so genuine. I think women are going to be drawn to that genuine heart that was just right out there, and you were so comfortable. And I think people are going to pick up on that in your warmth.
I
Like I
hope
loved
so.
when he asked you, what would you say to someone who's watching, and you pivoted from him to the camera. You were talking to that person. Like I feel like if I was in that place, I would feel seen.
Okay. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Mhm.
that. Well, thank you, because I didn't feel comfortable. I was really nervous for sure, but it was a big deal, and it was a lot of preparation and
Yeah.
all that. So I'm really glad that it came off as that I looked comfortable. I really tried. But the other thing too is when you're speaking about something you truly love, it does make you more comfortable. You know, I'm passionate about it, so I'm glad that
Yeah.
it came across that way. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely did.
You didn't look nervous at all.
oh,
You look really
No, I
good.
was just gonna say that. I didn't think so either. You just look like, oh yeah, this is what I do. I've been doing this forever. I'm just hanging out with TV stars and millionaires and
that's
just
right.
talking about my life.
This is what my life is now. TV stars
Yeah,
and
no, I loved
millionaires.
it.
It's
Your
so
energy on it
crazy.
was like peaceful, which I love. Like as nervous as you might have been, you
Yeah.
looked peaceful. And I think you're right
Mhm.
when you're talking about things that light you up in ways that you can impact and help. That peace kind of, I feel like it kind of grounds you
Yeah.
in whatever you want to say and help with.
Well, thank you. I mean, I really
You're
can't
welcome.
believe my life half the time. You know what I mean? Like to really that I'm talking to him and he's so nice. Like right after that, I'm like, let's take a selfie. And he's like, okay, because that's the kind of person he is. He's really genuine. Like that's how he is, right? Rocky, he's like that all the time.
Oh yeah, he's
He's just
amazing.
he's really nice. He's really kind. You know, before that, he was like he relaxes you. So we were goofing around and talking and he just asks you really nice questions. He's a nice guy. He really is. He had quite a childhood and he wanted to make something of himself and he did. And then he was like, I want to help other people make something of themselves. And so that's what he does. He's such a giver. So
Yeah.
it was really great to be around him and be very comfortable because those questions were great, right? You know, they were
Mhm.
great the way he led them and he listened to what I said and then asked me great questions back. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's obvious that he has a lot of respect for you. It's very, very obvious that he holds you in high regard for what you're doing. He gets it, and I think that says something too because it wasn't a female interviewing you.
Yeah.
Someone who had personally gone through it as a woman or her sister had or her mom had. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a man,
Yeah.
and there's no man bashing, but he gets
Yes.
where you were and he knows that there's so many other women out there and he
Mhm.
he wants to honor them by helping you
Yeah.
be in a position to help them.
And I'm so glad you said that because I was telling Rocky after my interview, I said he really got what I was saying. Like I really felt like understood. And I was glad about that because it's not an easy subject to explain, especially in such a short amount of time. And you only have a few minutes to answer questions and stuff and to really get your point across. So, what I really liked about that was that I was able to get to really hone my skills of getting my point across. It really concise. There was other things I wanted to say. I don't even know what they are at this point, but I just remember there were other things I wanted to say and
Sure.
it didn't happen, but
But you did a great.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
you did
matter.
a great
Thank
job.
you. Thank
You did.
you.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you weren't wearing black. I think it would have been too much black and
Oh,
white. I mean, he would have needed to wear a different color. I
yeah.
love that color on you. I think you
Thank
look
you.
beautiful. I think you were glowing.
Thank you.
Like I'm super impressed. I was impressed with the little snippet that you had shared on your page, but getting to see the full interview, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I have some more snippets, but I wanted to share the interview first and then now I'll put more out. I had a professional company take that 10-minute video and chop it up and they created some graphics for me and they turned out really great and they're nice because um they're about me rather than
Mhm.
like even my business. And so I thought that was something that's really helpful that we often learn in our coaching that you're really selling yourself, right? Because you know, and Sherry, you know this as going changing companies with what you do. Like people like you and they're like, whatever, Sherry, like let's go do this. You want to do this? Let's go and I'm going to follow
Yeah.
you there. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they like, know and trust you. And so that's been a really great way to learn how to do my business and remember that people are buying me, people are coming to me and I don't
Yeah.
have to sell them on anything. I just have to be myself. And so
Yeah.
you know, thank you for letting me get all that stuff out about my body and how I was feeling, because it is important, because I also want people to know that this is a common thing that we all deal with. But
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm in a place in my life where I can't, because I waited too many years, you know, doing, you know, sitting in abuse, and I just want to move forward in my life. And if that meant I was having a bad day, it meant I was having a bad day, and that's okay.
But you know, Laura,
Okay,
something I'm
and
going to say to you, I'm sorry. Something I'm going to say to you is, and I hear women say this all the time, and I think you, maybe it was on one of your podcasts. Um, if not, then it was in one of our conversations. Your podcasts are like conversations with me.
Yes.
So, um, but have you ever like, we're in this place that we are right now, right?
Right.
We're in our 50s. We want to look younger. We want to feel good, you know, right?
Right.
You look back at a picture of you from when you were 20 or 30 and you go, man, if I was just as fat as I thought I was then, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but I hate that
Right.
word, by the way, but,
No.
but right. I mean, and so like,
absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
And you
It's
have
so
to
true.
love
Absolutely.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to love yourself where you are right now.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love yourself where you are right now, you're not going to love where you're going. I don't care what you look like.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
It's so true. And I have started changing my attitude about that, because like, this is where I'm at. And so that's what I'm gonna deal with. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I spent so many years, you know, but when you're in the habit of feeling down for so many years, I'm still unraveling all that. I'm still reminding myself. And that's why I do wellness, holistic coaching with Gabby as well. We're in a year-long program. She does all the
Yeah.
she does all the woo-woo stuff with us, and it's amazing. And it's been really healing my brain about past ways of thinking. So it's been great. And yeah, she's another
Well, you
person
were
I call when I'm,
programmed.
yeah, exactly.
You were programmed with a male voice, and maybe you need to have, like, I know because of how far we go back.
Yeah.
I know you're all about affirmations, but maybe
Yeah.
you need to either have yourself recorded
Yeah.
or have friends a voice recording
Yeah.
that you listen to, like when you're getting ready, with positive affirmations to block out that male voice that
Yeah.
had a turd head. You know, I mean, you just, it's hard to get past that.
No, I totally get it. It's fine. I mean, no, and I'm still working on that, still doing lots of stuff, but yeah, it's just been a new phase of life. And so this was a really big challenge for me, and I've enjoyed really going to another level with this. Was a really great way for me to do such an amazing interview and really get that out of the way, because I want to do more things like that. I want to do more interviews and be on stages, and it was a
Now
great way
you
to
want to
practice.
now you want to do another one and another one, another one.
I know.
First you were like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
I
And
know.
now you're like,
Well,
next.
I know. Well, of course. It's just like when I went on somebody else's podcast for the first time, it was so nerve-wracking. And now I was on a podcast yesterday, and it was live, and it doesn't matter. Like, whatever, we talked about everything, and it's okay, because it's what I am passionate about, and I want to help others. So that's what I'm going to keep doing.
That's good. I want to also to tell you that you sounded really good, very knowledgeable.
Oh,
It doesn't sound you're going through it anymore.
okay.
When you're talking about, you sound very peaceful. You sound even compassionate,
Yeah.
towards like, okay, well, that was how I didn't even know I was there. And you never even bashed him, like,
Right.
talk bad about him. You
No,
could have,
I
because you
could
are
have.
talking about narcissism, you know,
Right.
but you didn't even say anything about that, because you're in a state of mind where
Yes.
there is peace and
Yes.
there is confidence, and you're in joy,
Yeah.
and you're in, your actions are out of love towards the women that you're helping, and
Yes.
not towards, like, they're not out of anger towards
Yes.
the person that hurt you, and that shows through the video.
Okay, thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, I can see that in myself too as I'm moving forward and in my interviews and stuff. I see that. I still want to, bash him and
Absolutely, of course.
maybe with an object. But but my heart really is, I'm always thinking about those women, because I do get, now, I get famous because I start getting trolls. So when people come on and say like, well, you must be the narcissist and those kinds of things, it just makes me want to do it more, to talk to that woman who's stuck in that kind of situation. So I'm glad that came through. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't realize that, but thank you for pointing that out. That's great.
Of course.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching it with me. It felt embarrassing, but I'm okay.
You gonna show us what he said about you?
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. Yes, let me get that. One moment, please. If you
Okay.
could just be patient, I will go get it. And then I will and then I will share my screen. I actually have it in my drive. So let me find it. I think this is it. Okay, hold on. I got to see if I can find. You know what? I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't think about. I thought it was at the end of this video, but I forgot it was separate. Shoot. Let's see. Oh, I know where it is. I know where it is. Okay, I'm gonna get it. You guys still there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second, and then I will share my screen. I know where it is. I found it. Okay. All right. Okay, so yes, let's talk about this. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can share, and then I should be able to talk to you guys. Hopefully it won't get to, let me see. Okay, so this is the first thing I saw, and this gave me, it was hard for me. I really don't, I don't like the angle necessarily. I also don't think the lighting is that great, because my jacket's a lot brighter. I just think, and anyway, that's just me being critical, but I feel like I have a ring light that could have lit me better than that. that's, that's just me being critical. Okay, so this is his 2-minute testimonial after we recorded the interview.
Hi, this is James Malinchak, featured on ABC's hit TV show Secret Millionaire. And if you are in a situation where maybe you feel that you are mentally or physically abused, or maybe that, man, why am I doing things that I shouldn't be doing, or I'm living in the confines of a mental and emotional prison, and you feel like maybe there's no hope, well, I want to tell you that there is hope. And the hope lies with my friend Laura Richards. Here's what is amazing about Laura. She's not somebody that just started researching one day and said, I'm going to go help others. No, Laura has walked the path that you might be walking now. Laura comes from real experience. She's lived it, she's learned from it, and now she's on a mission to pass it on and to enrich people's lives. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you have no hope, if you feel like you have a lack of confidence, that you won't find joy again, you don't feel worthy, that you can't have happiness in your life, then there's no reason that you need to continue down that path, because Laura will give you a unique path that is special to you. The thing I love about Laura is it's not a one size fits all. It's not a here, this works for everyone. She understands that you're special, you're unique, and that you deserve to have a unique roadmap, a blueprint, a ABC, 1, 2, 3, connect the dots formula, if you will. So whether you get her books, whether you work one-on-one with her in a coaching situation, one on a group, or if you have her speak for your organization, or invite her to be a part of your amazing podcast, if that's you, then you will have people's lives that are changed because of the words that she shares. But if you're watching and you are going through a situation where you feel isolated, you feel, man, no one understands what I'm going through, well, I'm here to tell you Laura does. And again, because she's been there, done that, and now she's passing it on. She's living it. This is her mission. This is her passion. So if you want to change your current outlook, your current situation, and get back to the essence of the amazing human being that you are meant to be, then work with Laura today. More than anything, the thing I love about Laura, she comes from the heart. Laura is a giver. She is a server. She is on a mission to change people's lives, and she will change your life. Do yourself a favor. Reach out to Laura today. Work with her. You'll be so grateful and thankful you did.
Holy cow.
Wasn't that good?
Awesome.
Don't you want to hire me?
Yes. Yeah,
I thought
that's awesome.
I thought it was really good, and I as I was listening, it was a little awkward because he's like, you just look at the camera, I'm gonna do a testimonial. It's so weird. So anyway, that's why I kept looking over at him, like almost like when you're having a conversation. And I felt very heard after that.
Mhm.
Like I really felt like he heard me and he heard my mission. So I thought it was great. I was like, wow, who's that? Let's hire her immediately.
Yes,
Get her on the payroll.
That's right. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I
that
felt,
was great.
yeah, he did great on that, and he, makes you feel seen and heard for sure. So, well, thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate it.
But thank you.
Love you.
It's
Love you guys. I
pretty
really appreciate
amazing.
it. You're so sweet. All right, well, and then I'll be putting this up on YouTube and in my group or in my something on my page. So please subscribe, like, comment, all the things, and I really appreciate you guys being here.
Of
I
course,
will.
you.
All right.
for
I'll
sharing
talk to you
your thoughts.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.